Hi, this is Cindy Warmington, and I am coming to you to talk about this week's Executive Council meeting. Several important things on the agenda, most of which we've heard about before. The mental health crisis, the ER boarding crisis continues. Many of the adults have been moved out into appropriate settings, but we now have 33 children boarding in hospital emergency rooms. I asked the commissioner about this again today. Of course, the court order forced the department to focus on moving out the adults, and now they are focusing on doing contracts with out-of-state providers to help provide services for the children in our emergency rooms. This is a situation that just cannot wait. We must address the children in our emergency rooms, and we're going to keep asking these questions until this problem is resolved. Homeless funding. We talked about this before. And there is an $862,000 shortfall in the funding for homeless shelters in the next biennium. This was unintended. It was an anomaly in the budgeting process that resulted in this $862,000 shortfall. Everyone's in agreement. The commissioner again today said this is important. The governor said it was important. Everyone is in agreement, but the legislature has not included that money in the budget. Everyone needs to reach out to their representatives and their senators and tell them to restore the money for shelter funding. Medicaid managed care contracts. We had an hour-long presentation before the council meeting about the Medicaid managed care contracts. This is a $1.2 billion contract. I've had some interaction with the department in advance of the contract, and in fact, as Medicaid Director Henry Lippman noted, they actually included a provision in the contract to make sure that people don't have to change the medications they're on more than once a year, which could happen under the old contract. And I asked about that, and they've included that in the contract. There are other provisions in the contract that the council just needs more time to look at. These are really critical services. This is a huge contract, and 5 days isn't enough time to look at it. So we've tabled that contract, and we're coming back to it at the next council meeting. And then finally, there was a good deal of discussion today about sole source contracts. I think the council feels that the departments are just simply not getting these contracts out to bid. We get retroactive contracts, we get sole source contracts, and the council, we had some understanding during COVID of the need to move things along quickly, but the departments really need to be doing their due diligence. They need to be doing these contracts and following the contract process and making sure that they're doing the best for the people of New Hampshire, making sure our resources are spent efficiently. That's what we have for today. I will check in with you after the next council meeting, and until then, enjoy this beautiful weather.